What's up, everybody? It's Trey Smith, co-owner of Recaptured Values, alongside my talented wife,
Bailey Smith.
and hey, guys, we've been working for you guys. I've been kind of behind the scenes, which is why you haven't been seeing me. But trust me, I've been working for you guys.
Working the magic.
I'm the magic man. I've been doing all the social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you name it. You know what I mean? I've been working for you guys. But yes, a lot of big things are coming, and we are happy that you are watching these videos. We hope these videos help you guys. And
we're going to be putting out new videos every Tuesday, and we're going to call it Teach It Tuesday. So be prepared to learn. So whether you're a mama, a grandma, and any sort of family member making stuff for your little nieces and nephews, whatever. Right. Shop owners, we welcome you to watch our videos and learn. We're just going to be going through our favorite patterns and showing you how we use them in our own shop, and we hope you can benefit from them.
Well, enough of the introduction. We hope you enjoy this video. See y'all on the other side.
Hey everybody, it's Bailey Smith from Recaptured Values, and today it's Teach It Tuesday. You can grab this shirt on our website at www.recapturedvalues.com, and we put out a new video every Tuesday, and we call it Teach It Tuesday. So today we are basically doing a 2.0 version of our very first video that we put on YouTube, and that was how we tie a double bow wrap. This time we're going to be doing it a little bit differently. We're going to be using two different fabrics to make one bow. So bear with me, I've done a little bit of stuff already, so I'm going to try to explain exactly what I did. So here we go. So pretty much I've already attached these two fabrics together. What you would do to determine like how much fabric of each one, for our double bows we use 5 inches, which is this part, 5-inch width by width of fabric, which means literally it means that this would not be folded and it would be this far. So that's, I'm going to assume, about over 60 inches. Okay, so you need 2 pieces, of course, so that would be half of that. So you need 2 30-inch pieces, or a little bit less, give or take, but about 30 inches each piece. And you want to make sure that your stretch is going with around the longest part of the garment. So you make sure the stretch is going around the longest part of the garment. If you want to learn how to find the stretch, watch our very first video on YouTube. We'll make sure to link that somewhere in here so you can watch that. But so what I've already done here is I have serged these 2 pieces of fabric right sides together and made a seam right here. If you don't have a serger, you can use a zigzag stitch on a standard sewing machine and just make sure you back stitch on either side, and then do a zigzag stitch there. About a 1/4 inch seam allowance will get you the job done. So next, what I did to make sure that the seam right here doesn't irritate the back of the wearer's head, what I do is I go ahead and do a straight top stitch, just to top stitch this seam down to make it lay flat. You can see there, my seam is basically laying flat so that it's almost flat, and all you feel is a tiny seam. All right, so we have these boards here that we use in our shop, and basically they are size guide boards. So this would be adult, toddler, infant, baby, and newborn is basically the sizes that we use in our shop. And the adult kind of goes from like kid to adult. Anything over 20 inches, I think is what we say, 22 maybe inches. So basically you pick the size that you want the head wrap to be. We sell these on our website for anybody who wants to, you know, whether you want to retie a bow that you bought from a store, or whether you want to just start making bows to sell or just to use for your own child. These are great handy dandy tools because a lot of people use their leg, starts making their back hurt. Some people's legs are different sizes, so you get a whole bunch of different variety of sizing there. So this is just a really good way to do it. So I'm going to try to show you how to use these boards as well as how to tie a 2-toned double wrap bow. All right, so I'm going to choose the adult board here, the adult size board. It goes from kid to adult. and it's just the largest set we have. We sell 5 boards in a set. You can do a 5-board set or you can do a 4-board set. I'm gonna use the largest board in the 5-board set, which is the adult size. Okie dokie. So I'm gonna put the bow piece, the wrap piece, I guess you could call it. I'm gonna put it right side facing down, the seam that I've serged or zigzag stitched and top stitched down in the middle. I'm gonna put my board right in the middle of that seam. Okay. All right, so next I am going to pull this piece up, and I'm gonna pull this piece up, taking care not to shift it too much. And I'm gonna just tie a regular knot here. And then you're gonna either hold this with your hand if you want to. I like to do it on a surface where I can just push up against it and hold it with my weight there. So I'm gonna go ahead and just fold this out like this. And then I'm gonna put my finger in here like this, just to kind of hold it steady to keep that. We're gonna create the first loop here. And then I pull it, and I just kind of try to make sure that it doesn't roll too much. This fabric right here is actually swim fabric. It's nylon spandex. So it's going to be a little bit more slippery, and it's going to roll no matter how much or less you stretch it. It's just going to roll. Same thing with velvet. It's going to naturally roll. Double brush poly is going to roll. All those types of fabrics are going to roll. Even Liverpool or bullet knit will roll if you stretch it too much. So I've got this piece here, and I'm just kind of holding this piece with my finger. I got this piece back here holding this piece, or this finger back here holding this piece. So then I'm going to take this piece that I was holding with my weight here. I'm going to try just to make sure that the print is what's showing here. And I'm going to twist it around. I'm just twisting around this piece here. Twist it around, come around, and you see my thumb here. I'm going to put this piece through where my thumb is. And then I'm just going to pull it out. And I'm kind of holding this piece that I made here with my other fingers to make sure that it doesn't pull through here. Okay. And then I'll pull this piece up, and this piece is down, which is the piece that we just tied around. And I'm going to make this tight. Not too tight, but tight enough that this is going to just stay here. And then I like to go ahead with every bow piece that I make, these little loops that I make, I like to go ahead and fluff them out, make sure my wrinkles manipulated enough just to get you a perfect little bow loop. So we got one loop down. Next, I'm going to take this piece here that we pulled down, that we tied around here. I'm going to pull it and make sure that I manipulate it enough to where it's still right side facing down. And all the while you're doing that, you're going to want to make sure that your head wrap piece is staying good. Okay, so we got that one loop. We made sure this loop is this piece here is right side facing down. Because then we're gonna do this. We're gonna take it, this is the end of that piece. And I like to just kind of make a sandwich. This part's not super important, but it does make it easier to fluff it up once you put it through this knot. So the next part is where it gets a little tricky, just because it's kind of hard to maneuver this in there. This fabric is very slippery, so it's a little bit easier. But you're basically going to put this piece into this knot here. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of put my finger through that knot to make it easier to push this through. And I'm just going to push it through and pull it until it looks similar to the other side. And again, you're just going to fluff that piece up right there, fluff it up, and then pull each side here. That's the best way to do it too, is to pull each side. And don't do it too hard, especially if you're using bullet or Liverpool. If you pull too hard, it can cause runs in your fabric. This fabric won't really run that much, won't really cause a rip or anything like that. So it's really good fabric to use. And this fabric in particular was from So English last year. So I don't think they have it anymore. They may, I haven't looked in a while. But we can link them down below because it's their fabric. All right, so then you're left with these pieces here. We've got 2 loops now that we've kind of fluffed up. 2 bow loops that we've kind of fluffed up, and we got these pieces. So I like to just make sure that, again, your pieces aren't rolling. And if they are, you kind of just manipulate them enough to where they're not rolling as bad. again, with this fabric, you're gonna have rolling. It's just the natural of the fabric. It's the way the fabric is. So next you're going to, doesn't really matter which side you do next. Just pick a side and go with it. So we're gonna do the exact same thing we just did, but this time the bow piece is facing up. So we're gonna have to go under and through the knot. So this is the piece. We're gonna hold it up and go under the knot like this. So I'm gonna hold it up like this, and this is the spot right here we're gonna wanna go under. Pretty much exactly underneath the piece, right there. You're gonna pull it through the knot, and it should come out on the other side in the in this bow piece right here. It should come out right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Push it through here, push it through, and if you don't want to use your finger, you can use something that will poke it in there. Sometimes you can use a pin with a cap on it that'll poke it through, but it's up to you. All right, so I do say the word "so" a lot. I'm sorry. All right, so there we go. We've got that piece now. I'm gonna go ahead and make them even, and by doing that, you pretty much just pull this piece. You're like, okay, that makes this one smaller. So what happens if I pull this piece? That makes that bow smaller. So if you keep pulling it and just manipulating it, you'll get it to be the way you want it to be, like that. That's perfect. So then this piece right here, we're gonna consider a slack piece. And what I like to do is just cut that off right here at the bow piece. Be careful not to cut your bow piece, and just kind of tuck that little slack piece in there. If your customer's ordering a tied version, or if you're sewing, or if you're doing this for just a family member or a friend, if you leave that piece in there and you're tying it, then if it comes untied, or if it's too tight or too loose, they have a slack piece that they can retie using this video. You can share this video with them. So the next part is the last bow piece here. So we have 1, 2, 3, last piece here. We're gonna do exactly like we just did that one. Pretty much just gonna make sure you make this little sandwich thing. Again, all this does is just make sure that the rolls are a little less. I don't really know how accurate that is, but it's just what I do. So then you're gonna go right there in that spot underneath, because this is the bow piece. It was right side facing up. We're gonna go in that hole there, and it should come out in between the blue bow piece on this side. It should come out over here. So here we go. And now my knot here is not as tight as I would like it to be, but I will show you a trick to fix that. And you pretty much just fluff up your bow. And again, here's a slack piece that we got. And I just like to go ahead and make sure your bow pieces are out of the way when you do this, or you will cut them and be very upset with yourself that you did that. Okay, and then the next little trick that I like to do is go ahead and tuck a bow piece. You tuck one of them into the other one, and one of them just naturally goes in the other one better. You'll see that when you tie the bow. And then you'll just wiggle it a little bit. Make sure that you like the way everything's laying. And when you're fully satisfied, that is what it will look like. Then when you take it off of the thing, off of the board, if you look at it and you're like, this is a lot smaller than this head wrap board, what you then do, this is a little trick here, you're gonna grab your head wrap here on both sides of the head wrap underneath the bow. So there's the bow. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and just tighten it as tight as I can go. And it will make your bow a little bit different, so you may double check it and make sure that your pieces are still the where you want them to go. And then when you sit this on the board, it should be the exact size of the board. And just make sure you tuck your pieces back, because when you twist them like that, it kind of pops them out of the being tucked inside of each other there. But then you get This one's a little, there we go. Then you get a head wrap that is the exact same size as the board. And then your middle knot is a lot tighter and neater, and it just looks pretty. And that's pretty much it. If you want to make this permanent or a little bit more secure than tying, just take some needle and thread and then go in and out of this knot here. It's a little tedious. Use some pliers if you don't want to mess up your hands, or use a thimble. But pretty much just go in and out a few times of this and then tie a knot, and it'll pretty much make that a lot more secure. So here's a double bow wrap. And again, if you want to buy these boards from us, they are, I think we do $28 for the 4-board set and $37.50 for a 5-board set. You can buy them individually for $10 a piece, and we'll link them down below. They're super beneficial to anyone who is either making bows for their child or family members, or you're selling bows. They're great for that. If you want to check it out, check out our website, recapturedvalues.com, and here's how you do that bow. Hope you guys like this video. I hope it helps you out, and can't wait to see you guys next Tuesday when we put out another video. See you guys next Tuesday.